The plans for the new WWE World Championship has been announced. WWE has also introduced a new rule for talent, and scrapped plans for WWE Backlash have been revealed. Stay tuned for the news. It's Backlash tonight. It's a big premium live event weekend, and WWE is in Puerto Rico. And it seems they had a big press conference yesterday. It was insane, the pop that Bad Bunny got.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, it's hometown.
There was something magical about seeing a packed out SmackDown as well.
And I really like the cool little entrance ramp they had. Obviously, it's for the pay-per-view. It's the same venue, but it just made it feel special. It made it feel like a special episode of SmackDown. But on that press conference yesterday, Triple H went into a little bit more detail about the new WWE World Heavyweight Championship. He brought out on stage. I think it looks a little bit bigger than it did on Raw.
We've got a belt spiracy going on.
I think it's maybe a slightly bigger. A few people complained about the size when it was on Raw.
Different width of lenses. That's all it is. Don't worry about it, Fraser. Don't dig too deep.
I'll not dig too deep. A conspiracy.
There's a
CON spiracy. There's a spiracy going on here. But Triple H announced during this press conference that there'll be a tournament to crown the new champion over the coming weeks. And he said that this coming episode of Monday Night Raw, we will see 2 triple threats. And the winners of those triple threats will then face off in the main event of that evening. They will then go on to face the winner of 2 triple threat matches, winners on SmackDown. But it's a Raw championship. What?
Either way, whoever wins it, if they are drafted to SmackDown, will end up getting drafted across to Raw because of the exclusivity. But either way, I guess, it's just spreading it out there. You've got a good, spread of talent across both brands. It's a new chance, so maybe it's sort of like hey, both sides can get a shot at it.
Both sides get a shot.
I mean, the brand split is going to be a thing for a while, maybe 3 weeks, and then it'll stop existing as usual. So I think we'll be less blurred lines eventually.
Yeah, hopefully so. But so it's going to be 2 triple threats on Raw, 2 triple threats on SmackDown, and the winners of each facing off to determine the number 1 contenders, number 1 and 2 contenders, and they'll face off at Night of Champions at the end of the month to crown the new champion. I'm really excited to see who they choose. Like, I feel Seth Rollins is the obvious pick for Raw. And on the SmackDown side, I would put LA Knight in there.
I think LA Knight's a good shout. I saw a lot of people kind of going, Cody, and it's like, I don't know if you just kind of give Cody that belt. Would it make that belt feel like a secondary prize? To give it straight to Cody, because he didn't beat Roman, so he is this one. I think Seth would be fantastic. LA Knight would be a great shout, though, just sort of out of nowhere, to be almost like a king-making moment.
Right. I think Cody's a good shout alongside Seth to win on Raw and have them be in the main event, and have someone maybe cost Cody the match, maybe Brock continue that feud. SmackDown. LA
Brock
Knight
wins it, walks out with it. We don't see it for 8 months.
LA Knight and Solo Sikoa. That's my SmackDown main
Solo's
event.
a great shout.
Maybe have Solo versus Seth at the pay-per-view. Trying to keep the belt with the bloodline. But it's a very exciting time. I'm very excited to see what happens with that new championship. I've got high hopes for it. But Triple H has high hopes for a recent NXT call-up. Following Cameron Grimes' debut on SmackDown last night, he appeared in a little backstage segment with Adam Pearce and Baron Corbin.
Had a bit of a back and forth with Corbin. It was quite nice.
I like Baron Corbin. I'm excited to see him do some more stuff. But it was announced that Cameron Grimes will face Baron Corbin next week in his SmackDown debut. And according to Worked Wrestling on Twitter, Triple H is actually very high on Cameron Grimes. The account said, while drafted last, we've heard Triple H has high hopes for Cameron Grimes, having long advocated for him to be called up. Between mic skills and body transformation, he has supporters backstage, and a push is to be expected once the draft goes into effect. So that's from Monday. We'll see him next week on SmackDown. I think he's really good chance of being the guy to take the US title and run with the US title.
I think I've been waiting for this for so long. Cameron Grimes, on the main roster, kind of being allowed to tear it up. I think that he's going to just go over magically. I think he's going to, the audience are really going to get behind him. So I want to see eventually something nice, big and featured, but I think easing in with Corbin's a nice little...
It's a nice starter feud, and put him in there. Corbin's reliable, he can go in the ring and having some matches.
He's like the gatekeeper, right? He's standing there. He's the first guy you're going to beat at the town gates.
Exactly, and I think Cameron Grimes versus him, I think they can have some little fun things, especially Cameron Grimes with his to the moon gimmick, and Baron Corbin maybe going back to the happy Corbin or the rundown
maybe even
sad
further
Corbin.
into the gutter.
That'd be a little fun thing. But Triple H high hopes for Cameron Grimes going into the future. But looking forward to the future, WrestleMania 43 in 2027 might have found its location. What's the news, Sam?
So, this is ridiculous, by the way.
Yeah.
But according to the Tennessee Titans president and CEO Burke Nihill, WWE is committed to bringing WrestleMania to Nashville, Tennessee for the first time ever in 2027. That's WrestleMania 43. Speaking on the 104.5, The Zone in Music City. He discussed WWE bringing the show to the proposed new Tennessee Titans stadium that's set to open in 2026. And the new stadium would be able to sit 60,000 people for NFL and is an indoor stadium, so you'd be able to get more on the pitch there. Yeah. WWE is yet to announce locations for any WrestleMania past next year's WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. So I guess 41 and 42 might just not be happening.
Just skip them.
That's what I'm reading here.
Just skip them. Go straight to 43. But yeah, it's interesting this early. Even them, Nashville themselves, going, yeah, they're bringing it here.
I mean, if it's a proposed stadium, if it's not quite locked down yet, this is a big sort of banner event that's going to bring a lot of money to the city. Mm-hmm. You kind of need these big statements. Hey, we'd happily run there. We're happily going to do this, and it's just going to build hype for the funding and the finishing of the construction.
Exactly. And WWE likes to run places before the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
And this would be a big one to go, look, we're the first people to run in Nashville's new stadium.
In the league's flagship stadium.
Exactly. So it'd be an exciting time. I'd love to go and visit Nashville. Maybe that'll be my first WrestleMania. Who knows?
You can only visit when it's Smackville, when SmackDown's there.
Smackville.
It was really odd that they just did a random Nashville themed one.
House show that's Smackville and, oh God, well, maybe this will be WrestleMania Smackville. And we'll have Jeff Jarrett in the main event. That's what
I'll be very disappointed.
Everyone wants. But WWE has introduced a new rule for talent recently. Supposedly, Tuesday's edition of NXT saw the match between Gigi Dolan and JC Jane end with very quickly in 3 minutes, with JC Jane being busted open pretty badly. It was a face like a crimson mask, as Jim Ross would say. She posted a photo of that on social media, but apparently, according to the Wrestling Observer, such conduct is now frowned upon in WWE. Brian Alvarez saying there were 2 segments on the show where somebody ended up covered in blood, and apparently there is a new rule in WWE that WWE talent are not allowed to take pictures of their injuries, and there is an absolute you're not allowed to take pictures of blood whatsoever. This is, I'm not surprised, really, with WWE.
Ad partners, WWE have moved away from blood quite extensively. You still see it every now and then, but it tends to be actually accidental. But it's not entirely surprising, considering that, it's a product for everybody, right? You don't really want to be putting stuff up that's overly graphic. But at the same time, as a kid, getting all of the wrestler magazines and stuff, it was all the bloody pictures of people in ECW and tangled up in barbed wire and FMW. They were the most interesting ones to look at. They made it feel like a real credible thing that you could point to and everybody went, it's fake. It's like, that doesn't look very fake.
That's blood. That's blood.
There's glass everywhere.
Yeah, look, it's a death match. Yeah. But it's I'm not surprised WWE, as you said, wanting to cater to everyone, might not want to have blood on their product, or having talent go, hey, look at all the blood.
Yeah, look at what happened to me. This is really, really a bad thing.
It's like if I got really injured at work and I was all bloodied up, that looks bad on the
fall down the stairs 3 times, like, I'm concussed.
On social media, being like, hey guys, bad day at work. You don't want to be doing that.
Just facing the other way.
And as well, we've seen it on the other side with AEW, with injuries. They've posted stuff on social media, and then there's t-shirts and that get heavily criticized. So maybe WWE's wanting to avoid some stuff like that. But as I said at the start of the video, Backlash is tonight, and we're looking at some scrapped plans for Backlash that have been revealed. Well, Bad Bunny is set to take on Damian Priest in a San Juan street fight tonight, and it's just
going to go off. It's going to absolutely go off, considering last night.
I'm very excited. It needs to main event, in my opinion. This is Bad Bunny's first singles match and his first match in his home country. And according to a new report, WWE though had different plans for what Bad Bunny was originally meant to be doing. Fightful Select noted that around WrestleMania time, the idea was to have him team up with Rey Mysterio against the Judgment Day team of Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio. I think seemed like that was going to be the case, especially how the match went down at WrestleMania, right? Well, things were moving in the direction of that, but plans were changed to a singles match because WWE have such high faith in Bad Bunny's ability in the ring, which...
Well, do we pay for 4 lads or do we pay for 2 lads?
Exactly.
No, it's one of those things where I think very much, it's not like it's training wheels, but, having the partner there means that it can be slightly more shared, that load of carrying the match. So the fact they're putting him in a singles match means they've got to see something in him.
They've got a lot of faith in him. They've also probably got a lot of faith in Damian Priest and be able to hold the match to a certain standard and manage to take Bad Bunny through it without there being too many issues. I'm very excited to see what they do tonight. But Fightful added the original plan was for Bad Bunny to pin Dominic in the proposed tag team match. With both Mysterios will be in Puerto Rico for the match tonight.
They'll get involved. I feel like they're going to get involved.
It's a street fight.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. But what do you want to happen? We discussed that in the pitches video earlier this week. There was some really fun pitches on there. We had one written by AI. Go and check that out. The podcast is now live on the channel where we discuss what's going to be the best match at Backlash. But what do you think is going to be the best match at Backlash? Let us know in the comments below. We've got a lot of content going out this weekend. We've got reactions tonight on the channel. It's Adam and Andrew. The predictions are up now, so go check that out. We'll have what happened at. We'll have all the good stuff. We'll have more news.
And regular content on top of it. You lucky viewers. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Make sure you subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And we'll catch you in a bit for more wrestling news. Bye.
Yeah, what he said.